Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. You're gonna have to forgive me because I've got my podcast mic here. I got a new mic coming for this thing, but right now, got to deal with this, so forgive that it's kind of in the way. So we just finished up the insider races and stuff like that, and I have, I got a little bit of time. And we did a big block mod race. And after the last painting workshops that I've done, or paint workshop and then the painting videos, I've had a ton of people ask for help. And so what I decided to do is because there's so many, and somebody right now, Ryan was just asking if we had a house paint. We don't. But what I decided to do I was like, you know what, screw it. I got a little time. Bunch of people want me to do it. I'll just live stream it. So here we are. So I'm going to whip out a big block mod paint in record freaking time. And I'm going to do it. The Heatwave Designs Colby's paints, Cameron Colby, I think is his name. He has a smart template for these cars, okay? But not everybody's got Photoshop. This is the biggest problem that I was running into with people after the last video and workshop, is that people were like, hey man, I don't have Photoshop. And, I've been telling them, I'm like, well, just get the free trial, paint your cars, and move on. But, if you're anything like me, you want to change your paints all the time. I change my paints every league season that we do, and sometimes I change them mid-season just when I get bored. So, people don't want to have to get a free trial or pay money for something to paint their cars, which is perfectly understandable. So what I'm going to do is I've got just the regular iRacing template. This template will work on anything. It'll work on Photoshop. I'm using Photoshop, but it'll work on, obviously, Photoshop. GIMP. It'll work on paints.com or whatever the hell that is. Or you can just use Trading Paints Painter, okay? It'll work on any of those. And so I'm going to show you how to do a paint job on these cars. Really clean, really simple. All right, make it look nice. Everything that I'm gonna use is stuff that you can go get for free. All right, it's out there. It's free to get. You're not gonna have to pay for anything except for Photoshop. But if you want to do this on GIMP, you can do it. And GIMP has all of the tools that I'm gonna be using. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right. So without further ado, looks like we've got dozen people or so. Let's dive in. All right, so like I said, I've got the regular iRacing template. And real quick, can you guys hear me okay? You guys let me know, can you hear me okay? Because like I said, I got this mic, my podcast mic, and I got the new headset mic coming, but I'm always moving around. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. So if you can hear me okay, let me know. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a straight, just clean, simple SSR paint, all right? Really, really simple, really, really clean. Okay, we'll spec map it the whole 9 yards. So what I'm going to do first is that sound is good. All right, hey, thank you, Robin. All right, so what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to actually do a simple pattern on here, okay? And one of the ways that you can actually do graphics if you use the iRacing template, and the Colby's has these on it too, on some of them. iRacing has car patterns. These templates they have, they're car patterns on here, right? So if I actually click this on, I can go through these patterns. And as you can see, they've got these patterns on there. Now, they are the ugliest colors known to mankind, but they do have them. So you can actually, if you're like, dude, I want to do a color and, I want to do all black, but I want to have white pinstriping, right? Like you can find a paint that's got that, and then you can select just this color and it'll highlight just that, and then you can paint right over the top of it or expand it, make it bigger, warp it. Dude, there's all different kinds of stuff that you can do. So you can do that using this, right? It's really, really simple, okay? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a really simple paint using one of these patterns. I'm going to modify the pattern. I'm not going to use it as is. I'm going to modify it. But I'm going to do that so you can see that it's really simple to make something that is custom for you. You don't have to go out and get a bunch of crazy graphics and do all this crazy design. Because look, you guys, I'm not a graphic designer at all. All right, if you guys have seen my paints, I mean, they're, you know, they're simple and clean for a reason. That's all I know how to do. Okay, I can't do something complex. Them guys that got them things, crazy graphics and stuff like, I wish I could do that. I can't. All right, so I'm gonna do something just really simple and clean. Okay, and let's see if we can find something here that I can work with. No, hell no. 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 That was kind of talking to me, but no. Hold on. No, not that one. I might be able to use some of that blue. Make that a different color. I'm trying to envision it in my head right now. Let me see. If I go red with the black and then around. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reverse it. So I'm going to go. I'm going to use the green. Finished up car last night, but doesn't look good at all. It sucks. It's all good, Devin. We'll get you lined up here, man. So. No. All right, there's one right there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the green out of this paint. I'm going to make it black. That's all I'm going to do, okay? So actually, I don't have to turn those off. I just need this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. Now, first thing I got to do is I got to turn off these logos, because see where these logos are at over the colors? If I select that color, it's going to go around it. I don't want that. So I need to turn those off. So car decals, I'm going to turn that off. All right, so now we've just got the paint. So I'm going to come down here. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to select that. I'm going to highlight that color. I want that color. Okay, so now I've got it over here on my little color picker. Color picker. The new sponsor is... I don't have one yet. I'm in talks with some right now, but nothing confirmed. I've got one confirmed that'll be happening here in the future, but the other one's not confirmed yet. But okay, so we're gonna go select color range, okay, and then I'm gonna take my little eyedropper thing here. I'm gonna go right over here to the green. All right, and I'm gonna select that green. Boom, and as you can see, now we have selected all of the green in this paint, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off this pattern, all right? And you can see the lines? So there's all the lines now, all right? And now, I don't want all of them, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually expand it. Let's do this. We're going to go above that. We're going to make a new layer. I'm going to turn this back to black. I'm going to go select, modify, expand. I'm going to expand it by, let's go 5. Does that bleed over anywhere? I think that should be good, but let me double check. I got to turn on my wire to see for sure. Ooh, that might be bleeding over. All right, we gotta contract that by 1. Okay. Got it. All right, so now we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna get my little paint bucket here. Bam. So now I've got all of that black. So let's turn that off, deselect, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this base, and I'm gonna paint everything else my red. Bam. So now I've got my own unique pattern that I just did, right? I don't have the other stuff that was on there. And it's really simple and it's really clean if you're into that, okay? That, boom, done, right? Like now you've got a graphic on there that you can run. Cool, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to keep that because now looking at it, I don't like the way it looks. But I want to actually see if there is a simpler one that I can find here. What I'd like to do is just see like this. I would like to do just something simple like this. I don't want that stuff around the top. Actually, yeah, we'll do that because that is pretty clean. I do like that. I just want some highlights. That's all I want, is just some simple highlights. I like to try to keep my cars clean. I don't like a bunch of stuff going on. Black. Paint bucket. Bam. Turn off the patterns. There's my black. All right. Really, really simple. And now we can deselect. Okay. And actually, the other thing that I want to do here is I actually want to, on my center, because this is the center of the car, I want to actually reverse that. That would probably be the best thing to do. I want to reverse that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control select that. All right. I'm going to make this one, and this one, because that's the front splitter, the top, and then the rear splitter. I'm going to make those red. Yeah, Devin, I know that they have one, but I wanted to use the regular iRacing one because a lot of people didn't want to get Photoshop, so that way they can do it for they can use it on anything. They don't have to have Photoshop. They can use GIMP if they want. So I'm going to make those ones red. All right, I'm going to get my paintbrush here. And, oh, actually, I'm not going to get my paintbrush. I'm going to get my eraser, and I need to get my wire up so I can see the lines. I'm thinking of the best way to do this here. Yeah, we'll just do that. So we're going to erase that. Going to erase that. Because I'm going to make my whole center. Ah, I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. Let me get my paintbrush. I want to make those red. There we go. I need to do that so I can see it. There we go. Because I'm going to actually highlight this. You'll see what I'm doing in a sec. It'll make sense. I promise it'll make sense. If you guys ever seen my sprint cars and my midgets and stuff like that, I like doing where the sides are one color and then having the black in the middle of the car. You know, like on the sprint car, I had the inside of my wing black on both the inside panels and let's see this right here. We got to make sure that we don't get it across that green line. Okay, that's good. Okay. So now we've got that. Deselect. All right, we can turn that back on. I'm going to turn that off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. Whenever you're selecting stuff like this, always remember to turn off the wire because it can screw it up. So now I'm going to select my black. But what I'm going to do is, because remember, that's actually red. If we turn that off, right? So we got the black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I selected that, okay, but now I'm going to inverse it. I'm going to go select, inverse, okay, and so now I'm going to actually turn this stuff here in the center black. Ah, dang it. I didn't want to do that piece. There we go. I guess it'd probably be smarter to use a smaller brush, huh? Patience is a virtue when it comes to doing these things. At least on the lines, on the edges, it'd be smarter to use a smaller brush. Now I could probably draw a shape around all this stuff. And I just literally thought of that. Oh, I can turn my wire back on so I can see. But I've already started doing it this way, so I'm just going to keep doing it this way. And see, here's the cool thing. When you inverse it, see, I can't paint over that. That's the nice thing about doing it like that. So it prevents you from getting a spot you don't want to get. And as long as you're, even if you go outside these little green lines, it's okay as long as you don't go across the green lines up here. I'm gonna make my brush smaller. Make sure I get that corner. There we go. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Did I just sing the McDonald's song? I think I did. Oh well. Okay. Now here we can really go. We don't have any really thing to worry about bleeding over. So get that done. This is going to be the most time-consuming part. Once we get this done, then it's just going to be graphics and numbers, and that's really easy. It's super easy. All right, so now we can go select, deselect, and damn it, I got part of that, and I didn't even... Oh, no, it did that on its own. Sweet, thank you. Slide the mouse. Do you know if anyone has ever tried your setups on the track? Oh yeah, for big blocks, lots of people have. I've already gotten a ton of feedback. We just did an insider race, and I did the setups, and I won the race. And it was really fast. I had actually done. I figured out how to calculate downforce and drag in Motec, and I was doing some tests with it yesterday. I got a video coming out on that, or multiple videos, I should say, coming out on that for big block mods and all the other cars, because it was actually really, really interesting. Oh, in real life. Yeah, I wouldn't. Oh, well, thank you. I wouldn't recommend my setups in real life. If people need real life setups, they can hit me up and I'll give them a real life setup. At least for the sprint cars and the midgets, not late models, or I've never set up a late model in real life or a big block modified in real life. I've never done those in real life. Sprint cars and midgets, I know, and I'm sure that stuff is still pretty much the same as it was back then. Maybe a few differences, but yeah. I wouldn't recommend doing the setups that I use in iRacing in real life. It probably won't have much success because a couple things don't really add up. All right, so there's our very simple paint. Okay, now the next thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna close all this stuff up. We gotta turn those decals back on. We want to see where those are at, so we're not gonna be like covering them up. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this Black G for Black Graphics. Oops. And then what am I doing? And then Red G for Red Graphics. All right? Really, really simple. So now I've got those. And actually, if I were to take this red one, now that I've done it, take it, turn it off, go here, and get my eraser, and make it really, really big to say, not that big, that was ridiculous. Make it really big to save time. Now I can just erase that part, deselect, and now that red is showing through on its own, right? So now I can get rid of that, and now I don't have to spec another thing, right? It'll automatically happen when I spec the base, okay? So, got that, all right? Now what we need to do is we need to do our numbers and our sponsors, okay? Really, really simple. Now, on here, all right, there is, and I'll show you what they are. So on here, you've got the sponsor locations. If I hit that, you got a couple of spots here, and you're probably wondering, like, what the hell those are. So these yellow ones down here, these are the inside door panels that you see from the cockpit. A little sponsor right there, that's what these are. These orange ones right here, those are the panels that are, you know, down right by the cockpit tub that run parallel to the driver. So that's what those are, all right? So if you want to put sponsors there, you can. I mean, you can see them somewhat, you know, depending on your FOV. Like these side ones, I see them on my triple monitors. Nobody else sees them, right? But I put them there just in case. So it really just depends, but it's up to you. I drive a Sportsman mod, same as big. Oh, but a crate motor. Oh, okay. So you drive the 358 or whatever it is. I think that's the crate motor for them, right? I think that's what it said when I was doing all the research on those things online. Okay. So those are the sponsor locations. Now, obviously, you can put sponsors wherever the hell you want. It's your own paint, right? It's custom. You can do whatever you want. I try to get my main ones at least in these spots because I know that they're going to be visible there. After you do that, if you want to take the time and really dive in and, like, you know, start placing stuff in different spots and things like that, go right ahead, okay? It's really up to you. It's just a matter of how much time you want to spend. So 358 is still in open. Crate is roughly 350. Oh, okay. All right. So that's the thing with that's the deal with the sponsors. Numbers, pretty simple. You got the sides, the top, and then this. All right. I gotta be honest with you. If we open up my big block mod paint that I did already, that's on the car, you'll notice that I don't have a number there. Just didn't do it. Didn't even think about doing it. To be honest, I don't even know what the hell spot that is. I don't care. So that's just me. There's a few things here that I don't like. As you can see, I got similar kind of thing going on. It's going to be a little bit different, but to what I just did, there's things in this paint that I don't like. That's why I'm doing another one. I kind of wanted to change it anyway, so I was like, hey, I'll just do a live stream. But that's what we got kind of going on here. I do want to do these panels all black, though, because these panels down here, these ones I haven't painted yet, these are the inside of the panels. I want those black, so I need to paint those black real quick before I forget. Actually, leave that on. We got to go down to the black. Spend all this time talking, not paying attention. All right, so get my paint brush again. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw a shape this time. Save us some time. The cool thing about drawing a shape like this is that you can just go around the lines. If you're doing a big section like this, it makes it really, really simple. Don't pay attention to the way it looks right now, how it's looking all cattywampus. It'll fix itself once you get it done in the right spot. I can actually do both of these panels. Did I do that too? No, it's just that one panel. Okay. So kind of double checking stuff here. All right. Do that. And then we just follow this down inside here. Right like that. Got that. Boom, 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 and boom. So there's our new black shape that I just did. I'm going to merge that with this down here. Black. There we go. All right, so we got that done. So now let's do our numbers. Now, one thing about the numbers is you've got this huge space right here. And if you look at this paint over here, see how my number looks flat, how my number is flat? It's 90 degrees parallel. That actually, I don't like that because the car doesn't sit like that. The body panel's at an angle. And so I should have rotated it. I did it like that, not knowing how it was going to look when I got out onto the track. And then when I got out there, I was like, ah, screw it. I don't feel like fixing it. So, hey, Tracy, if you're telling me I'm awesome, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I didn't know if you were telling me that or to Ed, who's the real life big block driver, because that's awesome. So anyways, all right, so let's get the numbers here. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple of guides here just as kind of a reference. I do want to save a little bit of space here because I am planning on doing some other little like contingency logos here. All right. So now we're going to do our numbers. So my numbers, I'm going to do my numbers white. I do like the way that those looked on this paint before. I'm going to turn off the number location. I don't need it there now. Go to text. Lots of people ask me what number font I always use. I always use the same number font. It's my favorite number font until that little sponsor, one of the sponsorship deals comes through, and then I'll have some new fonts for you guys. I'll be doing another painting video. I'll actually be doing a tutorial on that, but a more in depth, like step by step. So make sure. Okay, so we have number 35. That is tiny. Let's make that bigger. Bam, there we go. All right, so there's my number. Now here's the thing. Like I said, this is at an angle. So there's two things that you can do here. Number one is you can just eyeball it, right? I do that a lot. Number two is you can actually get the ruler, if I can find it here. Ruler, okay, and you can use the green line here because that anything outside of that green line is not shown. There's an overlap. And so I'm going to use that as my guide. And so I want to figure out what is the angle of this. Okay, so I drag that down, and right up here, you can see angle -3, call it -4. So there's about a -4 degree angle on the body. I want my number to match that. All right, so I'm going to take this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control-T, which for Photoshop allows me to transform the number. I'm going to make it bigger. All right, I want to first get it the size that I want it to be. Okay, I don't really want it to be covered up by the exhaust or Nerf bars, or yeah, Nerf bars, not the exhaust. The exhaust comes out the back. What the hell am I talking about? All right, let's see. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is, because I'm way into uniformity, I'm going to copy that. All right, whoops. And I'm just going to drag that up to here, and we'll come back to that later. Let's get this one down here dialed in. So now I'm going to actually go... I'm going to actually go Control-T again, and now I'm going to rotate this thing, and I'm going to rotate it 4 degrees, because that's the angle of this. And now if I actually take that and we were to line that up, see how my number, the top of my number now lines up perfectly with that green line. So now my number is lined up with the angle of the car. That allows me to put it right above these Nerf bar holes. Actually, that's perfect. And right below that black. So that actually came out way better than I thought it would. Okay, so now we've got that. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stroke it. I'm not going to stroke it white. Go 3. I'm going to actually stroke it the color of this car. I'm going to stroke it that color, which is going to give us a gap, because then I'm going to add another stroke on it, which will be black. and this will be on the outside, and we'll make it 6. I think I'm going to stroke it again. Let's see. If I go white, I just want to see how that looks. Yeah, I'm not liking that. So let's turn that last stroke off. Don't need that. I do want to add a drop shadow. I'm really big on drop shadows. I think they're awesome. I try to always have them off at an angle, not just like straight down. If I do that, it's going to kind of be covered up there. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go the opposite direction. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to go back the other way. Kind of eyeball it there. That looks good. I don't want it to be that separated. 10. That looks good. Okay. So got my number. And I actually want to drop this down. I'm going to actually drop this. God dang it. Stop snapping. I want to drop it down just a little bit so there's some separation between that and the stripe. Now I've got my number over these holes right here. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how that's going to look. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to actually shrink my number down just a little bit. Like that. And then I'm going to spread it out. See how close it is? It's way too close. The numbers are way too close. I want them to be separated some. There, like that. That looks better. Bam. Okay, so now we've got that. Now this copy that I made, I'm going to actually delete that. And I'm going to copy this one that is complete. And now, whoa, what did I grab there? Grab that number. Let's come up here. And I'm going to make sure I've got the number block lined up on this side. So I'm going to outline this here. There we go. Turn that off. I'm going to get my ruler to make sure that this angle is what it needs to be. Angle 5 degrees, which is basically almost identical to what that other side was. All right, so select the number, transform, we're going to flip that around. We're at 170 about. And there we go. Now, you can see how my drop shadow on this one is to the top and this one's on the bottom. That's because of the angle that it's at. So I've got to fix that. So I'm going to select that number, go back down to it, go into the effects, drop shadow. And then what I got to do is like this angular light. First of all, I'm going to turn off global light. I hate that. That is so stupid. I don't know why they do that. But now I'm going to turn it down. I got to make it the opposite angle. So now, there we go. Now it's off to the side. Now I've got this one pointing towards the back of the car, which I want to have over here as well. There we go. Boom. Let me double check to make sure that when I turned off that global light, it didn't screw up my drop shadow over here. Nope, we're good. Okay. So there's our numbers. Now we got to have one on the top. All right. Last time I did it like that. It looks all right. You know, I think I'm just going to keep it like that. So, gonna make another copy of this number. Make it bigger. Rotate it some. And is that close to what I had last time? It's almost identical. Looks good. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, because we got the numbers, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these numbers, I'm going to highlight all 3 of them, and I'm going to put them in a folder. And I'm going to title the folder Numbers. Bam. All right. So now I've got those. Now when I want to export this paint for Trading Paints, if you have Trading Paint Pro like I do, I can do one with my custom numbers and one without my custom numbers. Makes it really, really simple when you like plan this stuff out as you go along, okay? So next, we've got sponsors. Now we got their stuff going to be everywhere, okay? So let's get started on that. Place embedded. The first one that I got to find right there. BBR. BBR is Brandon Brothers Racing. My brother, the awesome dude that he is, you know, gave me the 3900X CPU that I've got in this machine, along with the RTX 3080. Just amazing. So because of that, I came up with Brandon Brothers Racing, and there you go. Now, those colors don't match, so I got to fix it. Anytime you create logos, you always want to make sure that you save. If it's in Photoshop, you always want to make sure to save a PSD file. So that way you can always come back and change the colors and stuff like that, and it's not a nightmare to do. So like this, I can highlight this, and what we're going to do is we're going to go white, black, white. Okay? So I'm going to make this one... Actually, no, let's keep those black. We'll make the center one white. We'll keep that stroke black. We're going to stroke this one white. Like that. Oops. Okay, okay. Come over here. Change this stroke to white. I need to dress like Bob Ross for these tutorials. Go paint myself a happy BB mod. Let's put ourselves a little happy tree here. That guy was awesome. He was great. I used to watch him on public broadcasting when I was a kid. Dude, the stuff that he did was amazing. He'd pull out he'd grab like a spatula. He'd grab it, he'd say, let's paint a little happy tree. And dude, he'd be done, and you're like, how the fuck did he do that? Like, it was absolutely insane what that guy could whip up with that big ass afro. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Oops, wrong paint. So there's the logo right there. Right on the side where I want it. I'm going to take that. I'm going to copy it. Drag this up here. And then transform. Rotate it 180 degrees. Bam. All right. Got that. Next, I need to do, obviously, SSR. The SSR logos are on my computer somewhere. Is this the newer one I just did? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So we got this. This is another thing that I'm going to do, at more of an angle. This one on the other paint is flat. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. So I want to kind of line this up with the angle of the body, like so, and then make it to where it actually fits on the car, like that. Here we go. SSR, boom. Once again, copy. Move it up. Now see how those 3 lines just highlighted? That means I've got it perfectly lined up with where it was on that other side. So now all I got to do is just rotate it and get the angle correct. like that. And then make sure that I've got it. I've got that one right on the line. There we go. Boom. Don't make that car any faster. Yep. They used to always tell us that when we were younger. But they used to say a clean car is a fast car. But I think they just said that because they wanted us to freaking clean the cars in between races. I think that's what they wanted. Now, I think I'm missing some black here. That panel needs to be, those panels, basically like all that stuff needs to be black. Because I do want that whole inside black. This needs to be black, these panels here. These ones here. Okay, so I got to get my shape tool. I just realized that. All right. Let's go back down here. Shape. Pow. Merge. Come down here. Do another one. I gotta say, I'm really liking these cars, man. I really do. I love the way they drive. Like, I'm super excited about our upcoming league. Like, I can't wait for it, man. Like, I really can't. I mean, I can't wait for all the leagues, all of our leagues to start. We got 6 of them starting in January, which is insane. But I'm really looking forward to the big block one. Out of all of them, that's one I'm, like, the most excited about. So, looking, oops, except for that, I got one side black and one side red. Let's fix that real quick. I keep doing that. I have to keep renaming this thing. Okay. So, we got the SSR sponsors. Next, I need to put my other sponsors on here, which would be, the next one will be, King Clothing. Which direction was that? Whoops. That's right, it's upside down. Okay, so, you're going to go King Clothing. Whoops. Wrong one. It's actually on here. This is like upside down for whatever reason. I don't know why. That's the thing that kind of sucks about this sometimes, is that you don't know what direction's what. Like, you're like, oh, hey. Well, if that's the front, then that should be that, right? And then you do it and you're like, what the hell? I think I'm going to move that up a little further, like so. Bam. Because it was much further back. Yeah, I had it a lot more narrow, too. What? God dang it. I don't want to do a shape. And you know what else I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to make this one, boom. I'm going to make it red. Let's go color overlay. Let's do it the red that I've got on there. Whoops. Like that. There we go. And then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually add an outline to it. So let's go Control Select, Select, Expand. It's going to be really, really subtle. We're just going to go by 2 pixels. Oh, I can't. damn it. All right, never mind. Let's just leave it like that. That's fine. We'll just leave it like that. There we go. So we got that. I keep hitting my mic. I'm hoping, I hope that's not driving your guys' ears nuts. Okay. Rotate. Bring it back to 0. Boom. All right. So that one's good. Next, what other spot is there sponsors on here? So there. Oh yeah, up here in front. I can't remember which direction that goes. Oh, okay. That's the... So this is the nose scoop right here. This is the actual front like nose. And I'm going to actually put I'm going to put the Team SSR sticker on that one. This is another one that I've got to change the colors on. Looking good. That stroke is the wrong color. Needs to be that. Also, oh dang it. Those letters probably should make those a different color. There we go, like that. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually put the color overlay back on. I'm going to do the color overlay a different color. So let's make that color. There we go. And then the first stroke, let's make it black. And then the second one white. Bam. Just changing stuff on the fly. All right, so we got that right there. Oh, that's going to have to come down because you're not going to be able to read that team. So anytime you're painting, anytime you're doing these paints and you see this, see where there's a bunch of, it's really hard. But see how you got these 3 white lines right there? Anytime you see stuff like that or stuff like this where the white lines get really thick and there's a few of them, there's a bend or a curve there, right? Or an angle. So like obviously this is an angle. So always pay attention to that stuff because sometimes if you putting something on there, it might look fine, but it also might be to where it's like dished or something and now you're kind of looking at it and you're like, what the hell is that? So always keep that in mind when you're doing it. All right. You go into edit transfer. Oh yeah, flatbed trucker. I always just hit Control T when I do that. I just hotkey it. Okay, so we got those. What else am I missing here? What other logos am I missing? I know I'm missing something. What the hell am I missing? Oh, crap. That's right. 5.6 graphics. I need 5.6 graphics. Huh. Whoops. As you can see here, angle is different. So I'm going to use the SSR logo to kind of line that up. Like that. Bada bing, bada boom, we're in business. Now I am going to change the color of this to make it match everything else. So we'll select the orange. Now it's highlighted it. I'm going to go select, modify, expand. I'm going to expand it by just 1 pixel, just to make sure that I get the edge. Sometimes when you select by color, it'll stop right at the edge of it, and then if you put a color over the top of it, that color underneath will bleed out the sides. So I'm just doing this to make sure that I cover up all of the orange. Bam. Beautiful. Merge. Control S. There we go. Right? Perfect. And let's go back on that real quick. I think I want to make that. No. We'll just leave it like that. I'm not going to change it. I was going to do something different, but I don't want to take that much time. And you guys, that's really the thing when it comes to your paints. I know that there are some paints out there that are incredible. I mean, like all kinds of stuff. You got graphics, you got all this cool, crazy stuff. And they look awesome. They really do. But I can tell you right now from experience that I get more compliments, and it's not even close, on my straight plain Jane 1 or 2 color cars than anything else I've ever done. And the reason is it's not because that it's just like plain Jane colors. It's because it's the stuff in the details. Doing little stuff like changing the logos to match the paint, right? Little things like that, adding drop shadows to things. Those little details, it's the little nuances and the subtle things that are really going to make your paint pop. If you're someone who's like, man, I wish I could do those graphics, like, who cares, right? Throw up some pinstripes on there, call it good. It's this other stuff that's really going to set it apart. That's the stuff that's going to make your paint really stand apart from everybody else's. If there's one thing I can relate to you guys, it's that, all right? The subtlety stuff, the subtle stuff is what really makes them pop. Okay. So we got that. Where the hell else do we need to put sponsors? There's sponsors everywhere on this damn car. Oh, these inside door panels. So I'm just going to line up the insides here. And I can't remember which way is which. Okay, yeah. So on here, I think I'm just going to put, what am I missing? I've got 5, 6, I've got Team SSR, King Clothing, SSR. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put, whoops, not that. I'm going to put the NARC logo here, where this BBR one is, and I'm going to put this BBR one in here. Damn it, then I have to change the color. So forget that I did that. We're not going to do that. I'll put the NARC logos here, because I don't want to have to start going back and changing colors again. Although this is black, so I'm going to have to change this. Well, you can see the outline of it. So that's good. That's fine. Boom. Boom. All right. I think we're good. Am I missing anything else here? Nope, we're good. Okay, so we got our sponsors, got our logos. All right, now it's time to, what did I just do there? Move this out the way. Get off my screen. Now it's time to pull up our test session. God dang, trading paint. There we go. Pull up our test session. Would they update this? This doesn't have painting mode anymore. Well, I'll just go over the top of it, I guess. So let's go to a test drive. Oh, there's the wife. One sec. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so test, get the car on the track. Stop. Fast forward. There we go. Stopped it perfect. Go back to this. I need to put all of my logos in a folder. Along with that one. Sponsors. Okay. Now we've also got the car underbody panels. Those right there. I'm going to make those black. Paint bucket. Boom. Roof fiberglass. I'll make that black. Roll bars. Make that black. Pit box. I'll make that black. What the hell is this yellow thing? License. Oh, that's getting turned off, so. Okay. What is color change? Color change on, off. I don't even know what that is. Let's just not even touch that, shall we? Because I don't know what that is. Never seen that switch in a race car before. Okay, so we've got everything done. So now we're going to turn off the red. File, save as, save on the computer. We're going to go right to our documents, iRacing, paint, dirt modified, big block, Targa, car number. I'm just going to overwrite it. Boom. Come over here. Refresh, and there is the new paint. Now you can see there's a spec map on here. See that stuff right there? That's the spec map from the other paint job. Okay? So I need to get that off. The way I do that is I go over here. You guys, I'm off screen, but bring up my file explorer, iRacing, paint, dirt modified big block. This one right here, delete. Okay? No more spec map. All right. So now, kind of zoom in here. Rotate around. Looks good. I've got a nice, I actually really like how that turned out. That turned out better than I was hoping. I've got a nice little combination of red and black. It's really, really simple. It's really clean. It's got my sponsors on it, right? If I wanted to add more, I could, but this is perfect. I really like the way this came out. I really like it, to be honest. All right. So, paint looks good. All I got to do now is spec map this thing. Okay? So, let's come back over here. Now, it's time to... I'm going to put this in a folder, and I'm going to call this miscellaneous. So now I'm going to take these folders. I have miscellaneous, sponsors, numbers, my black, right? So I'm going to take these, and I'm going to copy all of them. Okay, and we have miscellaneous M, sponsors M, numbers M. What's up, buddy?
What you doing?
I'm live streaming right now. Blacks M. I'm doing a paint for everybody. I'll be done in just a minute.
All right. Merch,
SSR, that's right. Thank you for pumping the merchandise, buddy.
Is my mom home?
Yes, she's home.
Okay.
All right, I'll be over there in a few minutes.
Daddy.
All right. So, you know you don't need to test drive anymore. No, I know that they've got that 3D thing. I haven't tried to use it. This is the way that I'm comfortable, and so that's why I do it this way. Will this be saved? Missed probably half of it. Yes, it'll be on it'll be on the here on YouTube. I will go back through it and timestamp it since we had that little break where my wife called. So people can just kind of jump over that. But yes, this will be saved. Okay, so open up the old spec map here. Always make sure that the parts are on top because they stamp those over the top. You can see the different textures that they have in the spec map this time. I don't know what this stuff is, but it looks good. All right, that's all I know. So miscellaneous M, color change, gonna leave that alone. Car underbody panels. All right, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna go color overlay. Remember, when we come here, these, the H and the S need to be at 0. And then we click on the B so we can get the grayscale. And I'm going to make these non-metallic. I'm going to go down to 20 on the non-metallic. That's what I'm going to do for the black. All right. Roll bars, I'm going to make these completely non-metallic. I really like my roll bars to have a flat black look, like almost like a stealth look. To me it adds a difference between the other black. Just, I don't know, depth, contrast, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't know. I'm not a painter. So, roof fiberglass, that is also non-metallic. And then the pit box, who cares? Don't need to spec map my pit box. I used to. I don't anymore. I don't care. So, sponsors. All of these, I can just spec map this folder, and it'll do all of them for me. Okay? These are obviously non-metallic. You can make them metallic if you want. I don't. I usually try to keep them somewhere around 10 or 15. Depends, but somewhere right around there. Same thing on the numbers. All right, I'm going to go the exact same that I did the logos or the sponsors. I want that to match. And then I've got all my black here, and I want this to match that black that we did on the underbody panels. So we're going to go 20, okay? And then now we've got the base paint. Base paint, I don't want it to be crazy metallic. We're going to go 30, because the more metallic you make something, the darker it is. And I like this red the way it is. This is different than my candy apple red paint job that I do, which I actually, that's the one when I do the sponsorship video. That's the one that I'm going to be doing, that car I'm going to be doing, because I've got the metallic undertones. It looks sweet looking, and it takes a long time to do. So anyways, so that's our metallics. All right, we've got all of our metallics done. So next what we got to do is now we're going to copy these metallics, and we're going to bring them down into the green channel. Okay, I'm going to close the red just to get it out the way. Open up the green. Once again, we need to put you can see here, they've got, on these spec maps, they've got difference, right? You've got dirt, small patches, corner dirt. That's all this stuff, these textures you see, that's all the dirt that gets put on the car throughout the race. They've got this in the roughness spec map. Don't touch that, okay? Don't mess with it, because it's going to mess up the texture of your dirt, all right? Unless you want it to look metallic, which I'm not a fan of. But, so miscellaneous M, open this one back up. Color change we didn't do. So underbody panels, I do want those to be, since we did the non-metallic, but I do want them to have a shine to them. All right, so we're going to go 5, because that's almost complete gloss. Roll bars, we're going to go completely rough. Like I said, I want them to be like as matte as possible. Roof fiberglass, same thing. I'm going to go completely rough on it. Pit box, who cares? All right, sponsors. Oops, I don't need to open that up. Roughness for sponsors and decals and stuff like that, I think iRacing does like 35 or something. I always go like 40 or 50. We'll just go 40 here. Same thing on the numbers. And then for my black, we'll put that at 5. And then for the base, paint, we'll put that at 5. All right. So now, file, save as, save on our computer. Documents, iracing, paint, dirt modified big block. It needs to be a Targa. I'm going to select that, but I'm going to change the NUM to Spec. And that will give me, when I hit Control R, my spec map. There it is. Spec map complete. See how the car shines in the light? That's that gloss finish. All the sponsors look like they're in a good spot. I could probably have made my side numbers bigger. Oh well, don't really care right now. Right, maybe something in the future. But everything's good. Okay? There is spots you can paint here on the back, right? That'll be stuff that maybe one day I'll do. But in terms of knocking out a really simple paint job, there you go. Now, I'm not going to show you how to do it right now because it's super simple, but all you got to do, if you're going to now save this so you can do it with the sim number, all you do is go back to here and go in and turn off the numbers, the number folders for the spec maps and for the base paint, save them without the number, and then upload those to Trading Paints. That's it, okay? It's really, really simple. So now I bring up Trading Paints. Of course, it's going to make me sign in. My paints. All right. Let's see. Dirt. Big block modified. Okay, custom number. Choose new paint. Upload. 35. Documents, iracing, paint. Select the paint. And then what I'll do is after I upload these, I'll actually create a folder that I have it, so I have it saved. Cody Clegg, what's up, man? Looks good. Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. Best part is I've whipped it out in about an hour. Add spec map. There it is right there. Got it. Now, one thing, once you have those uploaded, what you want to do is bring up your folder, go to your paint, these right here, and make sure you get them out of that folder, okay? So I'm going to cut those, and then I'm going to go to my new paint schemes, BB mods, custom number, new folder, red, we'll call it red 2.0. Oops. And then paste them in here. Because what happens is if you leave those in there, okay, especially this one that says car spec, that spec will always be over the top of what Trading Paints is uploading. And if you ever change it, it can screw things up, all right? So you want to always make sure that you get those cleaned out once you've got that stuff uploaded to Trading Paints. So now, I don't have anything on here, right? But if I bring up old Trading Paints, where is it? Click on re-download paint. Are you not going to do it now, really? There we go. All done. All right. So, you guys, that's it. That is how you can do it. And like I said, if you want to do a custom number or one without the custom number, just turn those off. Go through the exact same steps, and you're good to go. All right. And you can see I took an iRacing template, right? One of their their templates for in terms of color. I grabbed one thing out of it, made a slight change to it by expanding it a little bit, threw it on, made my own modifications to it, adding some more black to it right in the center. And now I've got this black and red highlight stuff going on here in the middle that differentiates between one another. Right? Got my own logos. It looks like my own unique creation. And it took me an hour to do. Okay? So, you guys, that is, I mean, it's really that simple. It really is. All right? And actually, I just noticed I got something screwed up over here. I've got black running down one side, not the other. Where the hell is that at? I'm sitting here about ready to sign off, and I realize I got something screwed up. There it is. I mean, it's painted black. Oh, no, it's not. I got black here and not here. How the hell did that happen? I mean, didn't... Oh, that's because they don't have it on this side. Haha. They don't even have it. No wonder. I gotta add that myself. It's its own little thing, huh? What are the body panels that much shorter? They must be. Yeah, they must be. You know what? I'm going to leave it. Who cares? I'm going to leave it like that. I think it looks cool. Screw it. So, we're good. All right. But yeah, that's, you guys, that's going to do it. Before we go, does anybody got any questions? How do I like the wheel I have? Looking to upgrade. This is a T300 RS. I absolutely love it. The only complaint that I have about it is the steering wheel is kind of small in terms of diameter. It works good for every car but the non-wing sprint cars. When it comes to the non-wing sprint cars, when I have to counter steer, there's a lot of times if you go watch live streams that I do where I'm racing in a wing car and then I get into a non-wing. When I'm in the wing car, I'm like this. When I'm in the non-wing, my hands are like this because I have to counter steer so much, and it's because this wheel is so small. So that's the only complaint that I have, and it's the wheel. The base, the motor, it's awesome. I absolutely love it. I think for the money, you can't beat it. They do, if you can get the T300 RS GT version, do that. The pedals are better than just the regular T300 RS, but it is about $50 more, I think. I think the GT's $400. The regular one is like $349 or something. But I love it. It's a phenomenal wheel. So the only thing that I would recommend above this in terms of belt-driven wheels, belt-drive motors, would be the Club Sport, and that's pretty pricey. So for me, I was like, no, this is good enough for me. You know, when the day comes that, you know, SSR's just, you know, ruling the sim racing world, then I'll get myself a direct drive. But until that happens, if that happens, I better get sponsored by someone with a direct drive. Yeah, Neo Knight, Heatwave Designs does have one. If you guys have Photoshop, get the Heatwave Designs one. Get it. It's super simple. It makes it a lot easier. So get it, okay? But if you don't have Photoshop, just GIMP or Paint or whatever, I just showed you in this video how to do it using nothing but the iRacing template. Super simple, all right? But you guys, that's going to do it. Thank you very much as always. Until next time, as always, I want to wish you good luck, good racing, good painting. Take care.